Rosko, welcome to the Sports Editor. It's really good to have you on the show. I've been wanting to chat to you for a long time, so thank you very much for being willing to chat, man. Rosko,
thanks. Thanks for the invite, man.
It's all good. Rosko, how come there's so many good rugby players that come from the Eastern Cape? What is the secret to that?
I think the Eastern Cape is just like as you saw now, most of the South guys, you can say it's like the mighty elephants back in the days, or now called the kings.
Yeah.
I think the derbies in the Eastern Cape is bringing always the best out of the guys, and the guys want to go further, always with their career. With mighty elephants. Back in the days when I was still a youngster, I also wanted to be a mighty elephant. But I did become a mighty elephant in 2008, under 19. So there, I realized, okay, it's something special also to play, to get that elephant on your chest.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so good to hear, because I mean there have been so many good players that have come from the Eastern Cape. So it's good that you've kept the trend going. But Rosko, at the beginning of your career, you were doing very, very well, scoring lots of tries, making a name for yourself. But it just seemed like it took a while to sort of get that, maybe the attention you were looking for, to make it through into the big time. But what was the moment or situation that sort of helped you break through into the big rugby career, that sort of break through the rugby barrier, so to say?
I think I must give all credit to Coach Jimmy, because he saw me at the Provincial Sevens tournament in Pretoria in 2013, I think. And then that's where he gave me an offer to join the Pumas in 2013, 2014. And I think just spending time there with Coach Jimmy at the Pumas, we had such a phenomenal team back in the days. Like on the scrum up, it was Faf, Vincent was there, Ronaldo Portman, myself. So we had some good players, and as you saw, that guys went on and achieved higher standards in their rugby career so far. And I think it was just at the end of 2014 where we played the Premier to qualify for the Premier Currie Cup that year. We played the promotion relegation against the Griquas, and we beat them. And I think after that, I got a breakthrough to go and show my talent off at the Sevens. And I think just moving back and forth, and I signed a deal half with the Sevens and the Pumas. And I think there with the Sevens, I think I made my name for myself. But at the Pumas also, I was also one of the key players there. And you always see that one guy that shine in a team where the team is not doing good, because that time he just came in, and all the big unions, they had all the good systems already in place, and we were just coming in our first year. But it was also good for that time.
Yeah, you've definitely worked hard, because you make a good point that the unions do have a lot at their sort of disposal. So you've come a long way and you've done brilliantly. But Rosko, I mean, you're well known on the rugby field for Rugby Sevens and what you've done there, and it seems like it was a wonderful time for you. Do you feel that 150 appearances was sort of the right amount of rugby for you, for Rugby Sevens?
I think I still have maybe one more year or season in me to play at the Sevens. But we will see. It all depends what Coach Neil wants. If he thinks I'm too old or stuff like that. But I always tell myself, well, I can still burn the under 25 guys, and I still have rugby in me.
So Rosko, then how do you keep fit? How do you stay on top of things though? Because I know as you get older, it does get harder to stay fit. What sort of training you do above and beyond the normal team training?
Like I like to go into maybe, like now where we have a break, I like to do fitness on my own, work on rehab and stuff, and like to do like small speed works, heel sprints and all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, but just going back to the rugby sevens, do you believe you're sort of part of a legacy that keeps the standard high for rugby sevens, especially for South Africa?
Yes, if I just look back at our team when we won the World Series for the second time, where I had such a bunch of good sevens players, I still have that picture every time in my head. Philip was the captain, Carl was also like a captain. Then we have Chris, Wright, Dylan, Sage, Quaggas, Nat Werner, Kok, me and myself, Branko, Cecil, Justin, Rowan, and then our captain, our current captain, our Severo was 30 men. So I think that was a dream sevens team for me. I think that will be one of the greatest sevens teams South Africa will have.
Yeah, well, as long as they've got, I think, guys like you, if you happen to call it a day properly for sevens rugby, that they still get you involved in one way or another because you've been in that element and you understand what it's like to do well for rugby sevens. So it'll be great to have guys like you still involved in the program one way or another. Would you be interested in something like that? Would you still like to do some coaching?
I think if I hang my boots up one day, I will be more in where to beat your man one-on-one. I think that is one of the things we don't teach at school or junior levels, because we have so much guys who have the ability, but they just have that skill, but no one teaches them how to use it. Most of the times they have it like 50%, but if I can get that skill of someone beating someone to 100%, you will be great.
Yes. Absolutely. But Rosko, I mean, every time I've seen you play, you play well, you play with heart and ambition, you want to do well. And there seems to be like a drive and a zest with you. Is that mainly because you play for your team and you guys just play for each other, or is it just because you just got a lot of passion inside of you?
I think first I will say I have so much passion because I want to do good for myself, and with that, it will make sure that my team is also in a good space. In terms of if I'm doing good and I can break the line, it means the team will maybe score, try, or get a penalty. And if I had a bad game or bad day at the office, then I know the team won't be on point. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
But I also think it's just because, I feel like you were saying, my career started off late. So now there's always people saying, he's too old, he won't make it. He's playing against a younger guy. That guy was showing. And then I always just prove the people wrong. So I think that is also my motivation also.
Yes. Well, that's excellent, Rosko, because you have achieved a lot, and I'm sure you will continue to achieve. You really, really will. But Rosko, are you sort of aiming to perhaps get a call up to the 15-man Springbok squad at all?
Yeah, that will be a dream come true, because when we were playing last year in that gold and green, I just realized there's just a few things that you must be really disciplined to become a Springbok. And it's small things where I don't think you neglect in your position. And when we went to the green and gold, they just showed us and tell us, listen, this is what we want from a wing, this is what we want from a scrum. And then when we came back to our franchises, that was my point, just working on all that small things, because sometimes you forget about the basics, but the basics will always be there when you want to achieve higher things. But if you forget about the basics, then it means you're a high-risk player.
Sure. That's very interesting. That's a good way to look at things. That's very, very good, Rosko. But look, I mean, we all know that you played in the wing, but when your rugby career started off, was that your position from day one?
So I think I started off scrum off, and then I just through the whole back line. And then I just end up on wing.
Okay. But you've obviously enjoying that's your position, that's your groove, and you'll carry on in that position for as long as you can.
I must say, I enjoy wing, but there comes a time where if I must chase the ball the whole time, wing is not nice anymore. And I just ask myself, why am I not a scrummer just to kick balls also and just pass?
Oh, that's all you have to do, your whole training and your speed running, eh?
Yeah, so.
Oh, dear, Rosko. But Rosko, one thing that I found quite interesting about you as well, sometimes you have some very interesting hair color. What's sort of the story or the inspiration behind that?
I think I just like to change it. When I'm at the sevens, I go green and gold. When I was a Bulls, I was white and blue. Now at the Cheetahs, I'm orange and yellow. So there's always something fun bringing out, because that most of the time that is what the kids want to see, because they don't just want to see this serious rugby player. They want to see some character and some fun stuff also.
Well, I think you've got a lot of character, Rosko. That's actually brilliant. Really brilliant. The Currie Cup season is finished, and I'm sure you're looking forward to next season. But how much magic will you be adding to the Cheetahs next season? Are you looking forward to it?
I said I'm looking forward to next season. I think what will make the Cheetahs better if we can keep the squad the way it is now, because you can just see every week someone is leaving. But I understand why the guys is also leaving. They also want to better their career and maybe just earn a bigger salary. And sometimes we forget about most of the guys is not just playing for themselves, but for their families also. So I understand why the guys also want to move on. But I think for Cheetahs to do better in the future, they must establish a core group and just work with it, guys.
Yeah. And Rosko, are you happy with your personal performances this past season?
I must say I enjoy when Cheetahs played and the way I also played into the system. I think I learned a lot of things this season with the Cheetahs, and there's always space for improvement. And I think that is what I like. As I grow older, there's always something that I can learn every week and week out, because the youngsters coming through, they also have something new where they can also teach the older guys, and you're never too old to learn from some youngsters also.
No, that's true. Yeah, definitely amazing to see how the game does change and evolve through the years. It's very, very interesting. But, it's probably been, it has been a tough season for the Cheetahs, and I'm not too sure how much you are allowed to say, but it must be a bit difficult accepting the fact that, there's no Pro 14 next season for you guys.
Yeah, that was a tough one, because when I signed my contract with the Cheetahs, it was for Pro 14. And then when I came here, things happened. But at the end of the day, things will always happen. Rugby will involve. And if SA Rugby feels there is a better way for the big unions, they think will do better in Pro 16 next season, or if it's going to happen. At the end of the day, we must just be happy that you still have a job and you're still enjoying your rugby, even where you're playing in the Currie Cup or somewhere else. There's so much guys who don't have the opportunity sometimes who play on this level, and we always just feel like as rugby players, you deserve what the people say. Listen, you're going to play Pro 14, but now they kick you out. Now you just think, okay, so rugby's pointless at this moment. But at the end of the day, you must also remember there's how many kids out there who will dream to be in this position where you are now, just playing rugby on TV.
Yeah, true, absolutely. Yeah, it's tough, but I think there is a lot that we can be grateful for. It's true what you say. Absolutely. Rosko, just going back a bit, you said that you have to chase a lot. Would you call yourself a kick and chase specialist?
I think when it goes to the sevens, then that's my special. One of my special things. I know when to do it. With the 15 men, it's sometimes tough to do it because there's 15 guys then, and these days you can see the back trail, they cover the space so much at the back, so sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, definitely. But Rosko, I reckon you don't mind taking a risk here and there once in a while in the game, don't you?
I think that is where you must live. You must live on the edge.
Yeah.
And I always feel I am one of those guys. If I see something, I will try it, but I would do it 100% and not do it 50%.
No, that's excellent. Because I remember watching, you were playing against the Stormers in Super Rugby Unlocked, and it showed me that you can create something out of nothing. There was a situation where you just did that kick and chase, and you kicked the ball, bounced out there, and you scored a brilliant try. And I mean, it came out of nothing, Rosko. You remember that try?
I think that's one of the things where you must always back yourself. If you decide to do something, do it 100% of your ability.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Look at when I chucked that ball, I was thinking, Damon's gonna catch the ball, then he's gonna kick it out. But then he was also waiting for the ball to bounce towards him, and then it was a 50-50, and then I just go up brilliant try.
It was a brilliant try. Yeah, but I think it also comes down to coaching as well, Rosko, and maybe you can correct me here. But often a lot of guys always refer to structure, playing structure and structure. Yeah, I know you've got to defend a certain way and attack a certain way, but you're a classic example. Sometimes if there's a guy who's got a potential and a desire, let him play. Just let him go and do things, because then he'll have a moment of magic like that. What do you think with that? Do you agree, disagree? What do you think?
I think I agree with you 100%, because most of the times, like from first phase, it will be structure until the third phase. But after that, it's a ball game. So then you must make sure you bring into your guys with that special abilities. Let them be on first hands, second hands, out the back door. Let them do their stuff. And then I think that's what separates us from the other teams, like overseas teams. They have that 3 key players in their team. After the third phase, that guys can pop anytime. In the back line, inside the forwards, all that stuff. And that's where you get the much match. As you can see, like even now with Cheetahs and Kobe, he's always from the third phase, his first hands, or they make sure he gets the ball in space for that one-on-one. Then they know he's going to be this man 99%.
Sure, yeah. That's interesting, yeah. So yeah, we're very lucky to have the wingers that we have. It's excellent, because we've got guys like you who can do what they can do. It's absolutely brilliant. But you must be a tough guy to defend, because I mean they just don't know what's going to come from you. Isn't that quite a good thing? Anything could happen with you.
Yeah, I must say that's a good thing, because I always, like me and Sylvia, will always have funny jokes also. Then I tell him, Sylvia, you know what? I have 3 tools in my box, my boy. You think I can bounce you, I can round you, I can step you, then I can chop and chase. So it's sometimes hard to defend me, my boy.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's excellent, yeah. But it's good to see what rugby's done for a lot of people, and I hope rugby continues to do a lot of good for people. I know a lot of the focus right now is on negative things, but I think people must really look at the good and see that good can still come through all of this. And rugby is definitely one of the sports that can do that. So it's good. It's really, really good. I know you touched earlier on about your coach. So would he be the biggest influencer for you in your rugby career, or has he been someone else who's also influenced you in your rugby career?
I think now it's my dad and Coach Jimmy.
Well, Rosko, looking ahead, it's always a tough one, and I know that you said, like, obviously no Pro 14, but there's still the Curry Cup that's going to happen. If there's one trophy or tournament that you'd love to win, which one would it be?
I must say it will be the Curry Cup, because every time when I was here at the Cheetahs, 2017. Then we started playing that year when that was the year they played Pro 14 also. They made their debut. In the first round of the Currie Cup, we had a strong team. We were unbeaten, and then we moved over to Pro Rugby, and then we came back against that chorus of semi-finals. Then we lost against the Lions. Then in 2018, they won it. Or I think 2019, they won the Currie Cup when I wasn't here. And now I'm here. It was again the same thing. So maybe I mustn't put my focus so much on this Currie Cup. I must just let it flow.
Let it flow. There we go.
Yes, sir.
But I understand. I mean, it is a coveted competition. I think it's actually the oldest competition in the world. So of course you want to win that thing, man. Definitely, it'll be good for you guys, man. Shame it's been.
Yes, maybe one day I will win this Currie Cup.
Definitely. Well, Rosko, you've been absolutely lovely to chat to. Thank you so much for your time and chatting about your career and what you've been up to lately. It's been, nice to hear your story. So thank you so much for your time, Rosko.
No problem, man. Let's do it again sometimes.
No, we'll do it, definitely. Thanks,
okay,
Rosko.
Cheers, man.
Good luck, my man. Go well.
Bye.
Cheers, man.